I'm in PowerPoint and I want to show the magic of Zoom. So I've actually been playing around with Zoom for a couple of years, but I just recently created something for someone and they said it made a lot of sense, so they've asked me to record it. So Zoom is going to be another way you can hyperlink. There's really three types of hyperlinks inside of PowerPoint that we're looking at here on the insert ribbon. So you have the Zoom and you have the link and you have the actions. My goal is to show you this Zoom, a summary Zoom slide today. So let's think about our presentation, how we want to break it up and how to be able to use this effectively. I don't know if any of you have ever heard of the product Prezi. That actually gives you very interactive type presentations. It's another software, and to me Zoom acts a lot like Prezi. So I'm just going to go ahead and grab one of these titles from over here. Design Ideas is working nicely for us on the left, on the right, and I'm going to click this and you'll see that the actual slide comes on the left over here. All right, so let's create a presentation. You know what, I think I'll start with a template. So let's go to File, New. And when I do new here, then one of my favorite ones to pull up is on sales. So let's say that you were actually asked to do one on sales or training. Let's see if that training one is still in here as well. And they would actually let you bring in any type of presentation that has to do with training. So I am going to go ahead and say teach a course presentation, and I'll say create. So by me pulling in one of these templates, when you go to File and you go to New, you can type in any name that you want here for a topic you're not quite sure, and you can actually get a presentation that they have here. Okay, so really what I want to do is I want to be able to just go on and use under the insert this Zoom. So I'm going to break this course down. So we have the course outline that's here on the first few pages, and then we have the course itself. So let's look through the slides real quickly to see how we'll break them down. So we have teach a course, and for me to look at them very quickly, I'm going to go to view and I'm going to go to the slide sorter view. Course outline, course outline. You have your first lesson, second lesson, third, right? First lesson summary, that type of thing. So let me say this. We want to make sure that we actually go into our first lesson summary. If it's going to be there, I want to move that over here. All right, it just makes sense that we're going to be able to do that. And the other thing is that I want to make sure that we have all of our files or all of our slides in line. So I figured out how I want to be able to break this up. So let's go ahead and do that real quickly. I'm going to go back to my normal view and go over here to view and normal, and I'm going to go ahead and say this is going to be my introduction area. So on the home ribbon I can add in a section, and if you haven't worked with sections, you need to find out about sections. I have a sections section in the course that I offer for the PowerPoint full class. So here we added in a section that's going to be our intro, and that's what I'll rename that. Okay, and now when we look up, then at this point it says that it's untitled, so it did not take my intro. Okay, and then we'll just say rename that. Now here we want to be able to go to the first lesson and insert another section. So I'll just say that this is going to be first lesson. And then after the summary, then we can go into the second lesson. So basically you'll just add in all of your sections. Second lesson. Now let's go and let's rename that. And I believe I saw a third lesson in here as well. We could do that. The other thing that we could do is we could talk about the course progress. So at that point we really could have these intertwined, but I'm just going to say that the progress is going to be another section. Progress. Okay, and then at the very end I saw a summary. Add section. Okay, now we have all of these set up for us. If I go back to view and I look at the slide sorter view, my view will look much different than it did before. See how it's all broken down by section? I could actually go here under the home ribbon and say collapse all, so you see that all of my slides are there. With that being said, let's go ahead and let's open it back up to where we can expand all, and it's time for us to use our summary slide. So under the insert ribbon, you can go to zoom, and then it says, do you want a summary slide? And I'll go ahead and say, yes, I do. Okay. So what it did is it actually pulled all of the ones where I've had sections. It just makes it very easy for you. And if you wanted some of those unchecked, you can uncheck them. If you want more checked, you can check them, but let's go ahead and go with the default. So what it did is it created a nice summary slide for me here, and it's using Zoom as a hyperlink. So let me show you what that means. If I go to slideshow and I'm going to go from the beginning, then my work has been done for me, because in the presentation mode, watch what happens. I'll go to teach a course, and at this point it'll actually go to the two slides that are underneath, and then it goes back into this area here. So instead of me having to have multiple slides inserted throughout my presentation, it really just links it for me nicely. So at this point I can go to the second lesson, everything that I deemed under the second lesson, and then we go, our first lesson, then we go to the second lesson. So basically the intro, the first lesson, second lesson, and it's working for me great. So anytime that you are in a summary slide at that point, let's go back to our slideshow. We'll go to view, and then we'll go to normal, and then you click on any of these slides. Notice I get a zoom ribbon. This will help me with all of the customizations that I want to do with Zoom. So this is just an introduction to what Summary Zoom does. Zoom does so much more. There's a whole section of this on the PowerPoint class that I offer when it comes to how Zoom and hyperlinking can make your presentation a little more smooth, going between the slides and basically telling your story. So I love how this works, and I want you to incorporate it into your slides. It's very easy to use summary slide in PowerPoint.